Back again, yeah, I forgot that I had written this first part. And remember that when we look at the fact that we're using this formula, okay? But for part C, instead of P0, it's going to be P3 EPS4 over the discounted rate. And it's going to be PVGO, or present value of growth activities, which is really just the NPV in year 4 and R minus G. But in this case, PVGO is equal to 0. Okay, why? Because we really know, I mean, the general gist of it is that we know that investors are paying, o sea, the investors, o sea, is in Spanish, sorry. I mean, it's, in other words. So we know that investors are paying out or paying PVGO portion for the growth opportunities. What I mean by that, in other words, when they're reinvesting, the company is reinvesting at the rate of 12%, which is the cost of capital, and there's no growth, they're only earning that cost of capital. That means when they're reinvesting solely at the cost of capital. So when they reinvest, that means usually, okay, that basically the company is making in their reinvestment, they're investing in items and projects with returns greater than the cost of capital. But in year 3, and this was my introduction that I had written down, for growth tech in year 3, ROE goes down again, EPS goes down, dividend payout goes up. So they lose that PVGO, not the NPVGO, net present value of growth activity, of future growth, but the present value of the growth, okay, in year 3. So when I look at that, let me just flip over here real quick. Okay, we've already gone through these two, and I will scan copies or bring copies to class of this. And when we do this, basically, as I read through this, and I'm hoping you can see that. Let me zoom in a little more. Okay. So notice that I've got price 3, all right when things are starting to change. And in year 4, jumps down to 8%, right? The formula or the table, I have the table, actually, it's right over here. Right down the start, I forgot that I had written out. The rate of dividends is 20%, 92%, 20% in year 2, 92% in year 3, and then it drops way down in year 4. So that's why we lose that growth opportunity, or the PVGO in year 3. So again, here would be the formula. This comes from page 97, price of year 3, okay, equals the earnings per share from year 4 over or divided by the discounted. So we're just discounting this as a perpetuity. And there is no PVGO here. It's equal to 0, right? Because they're only earning the cost of capital. And once we do that, we get about $20.66, 67 cents. Okay. Again, this is also shown in slide 28 and 29 in the chapter 4 PowerPoint or this process, and also page 97 and 92 and 93 for the essentials of this problem. Okay. So once we do that, we can just rearrange, all right? And there's a second part to this problem. So when we rearrange, okay, and remember that P3 is just equal to the dividend in year 4 over R minus G equals the earnings per share discounted at that rate of or cost of capital plus PVGO, or the value after year 3. Okay, so basically that future value of growth. So we end up rearranging the formula, and when we solve for that, we solve for PVGO of year 3, we get $1.24 over 12 cents minus 0.08, the dividend growth rate in year 4, and 248, okay? And 248 or 249, okay, is the dividend basically is the earnings per share. I couldn't read it very well, but it's either 249 or 248 over 12%. All right, so you just take the difference of the two, and this is what you end up with. You end up with the present value of all growth opportunities from year 3 and there on out. And you end up with $31 minus $20.66, okay? And there's a little, I wrote this number down here because I used a different figure just to see what it would come out as. All right, and I believe that's using 2.48 versus 2.49 right here on the earnings per share. So we end up coming out with PVGO equals $10.33, all right? That's basically the decline in growth right there, and would be a decline in value of the stock with no PVGO, okay? So, and again, remember that this is the original value of the stock at P3 or T equals 3, okay? Lastly, remember that suppose or assume the competition catches up, as we discussed already. With that happening and there only being growth tech is only able to invest or reinvest and earn that cost of capital of 12%, we're going to assume that there is no PVGO in year 3 and after that. So in other words, there's no growth, okay, just as it says on page 97. So when we do that, we just take what we got back in for $10.33, right, which is the PVGO in year 3. I'm sorry. So, yeah, so this is the value, solving for the value of the present value of growth in year 3, okay, which is very similar in the sense of P3 equals earnings per share, okay, plus 1 over R. But anyway, let's stick to the point, Sean. So 1033 is lost in year 4, okay? And so we come out with only earning R, or the cost of capital, in year 4. So from part A, now we're going to take the original values. So we're going to take that 1033 and discount it from basically where we had it, from the point of view of year 3, okay? Hoping you can see that. All right. So we're going to discount the 1033, and notice I do it right off the bat. I discount the 1033, okay? And that's from the point of view of year 3, looking out into the future value of any growth or earnings, all right? You get 7.35. Remember, this is a new type of analysis. Hasn't been around that long. Basically looking at the net present value of future growth opportunities. So that's why it's a pretty cool thing to try and get a hold of. Okay, so my original, as I take these down here, we're going to basically have the original value that we saw for an A, $23.81 per share, okay? Plus or minus, plus any growth, or minus PVGO of 3 discounted using the 12% capital, okay? And we bring that back in to basically year times 0, all right? So that ends up being $7.35. We take away $23.81 from it, and we end up with $16.45 per share, $16.46 per share, okay? And that would be basically the price at time 0, or the present value, the actual present value of this. And this is number 23, Growth Tech, okay? And it basically reflects a decline in value of $10.33. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.